Hello. This short video will describe some helpful tips in creating and implementing ideas into your online course. These strategies have been suggested by other faculty, those who have taught online, and are based off of pedagogical ideas to help increase student engagement, increase satisfaction, and generate higher success rates within online courses. Many instructors believe that face-to-face on-campus courses can easily be transferred to an online course, but that's not the case. Instructors should really start from scratch and be open to new ideas, implementing various techniques and activities to adapt the course to the online platform and not the other way around. Be open to new ideas and learn about all of your options. It's easy to assume that the discussion board and email are the only things that are available, but this is not the case. There's video chatting, there's video casting, there's voice tools, and there's many different pedagogical strategies that are available, and online courses can be very dynamic and interactive learning experiences. So learn about the different tools available and test them out. While using all the tools available might not be ideal for one particular course, if you test them one at a time and see what they can do and how they can be implemented, you can slowly, semester by semester, add a different technique in here or there, add a new tool in. And that's something that's important to remember. In addition, sharing knowledge is vital with online learning practice and instruction. And online learning is not new to many instructors, so really tap into those that have already taken or taught an online course to get some ideas. Hear from their suggestions and learn from their experiences on what you can do, what you can avoid, and how you can really create a successful experience when you're teaching online. One article that's really beneficial as far as what to do for online learning and some best practices is Savory's article here. And his article focuses on the acronym Be Vocal. Vocal, we're looking at visible, organized, compassionate, analytical, and lead by example. And just to go into a few of those examples really quickly, visible means that the instructor should be visible to students, that you should have a lot of interaction with them. You need to instill a strong sense of social presence because students can't be engaged if they don't feel that presence from the instructor, from their peers. Studies have shown that, and the students really enjoy having that interaction. So that's something to certainly keep in mind. Effective learning has also been correlated to a strong sense of instructor social presence, which involves allowing the student to feel connected and comfortable with the instructor. So really trying to create bonds and interactions with students is going to help them. Certainly trying to understand the course material, the platform, and engaging with everything and everyone. This can be done in a number of ways, and Savory looks at the creation of a personal website or different ways of introducing yourself so that students can really get to know you and get to see the type of person you are so they know when they're interacting with you how to be, what to expect, different things like that. Additionally, responding in a timely fashion, as you'll see later on, can be very important. Making sure that you respond to discussion posts, to emails, keeping the communication open and really visible with them is going to be important. Looking at organized, you want to make sure that all of your assignments for students are organized to a T. You want to make sure that beforehand that the due dates, the readings, everything is clear on the syllabus and that the students can really prepare ahead of time, knowing what to expect for the class. And this way they can regulate their time better. Strategies instructors have used could include you could create a do and don't list of online learning, things to expect, to avoid, to really help them monitor their activities and what to expect in the course. Moreover, you could offer all of your activities in different formats. If you're offering a Word document, offer it as a JPEG or a PDF so that students can access it in different ways in case they have different types of platforms for reading different articles. If you're using a video, have it available in Flash and also available as an MP4. This really creates an accessible course so that students aren't stifled by needing to download an alternate package or software so that they can really jump right into the course and use all of the tools that you have available. Being compassionate, Savory insists that instructors are cognizant of the backgrounds of their students. They're coming from different places, different locations. Some of them have big families. Some of them might, be a student and be, the traditional student age, or some of them might have young children of themselves. So being understanding of where they're coming from, if they're coming directly from work, or what their life is entailing, so you understand exactly how to associate with those students and how to really kind of get into their head and see how you can help them best. In addition, if a student shares personal information, that's wonderful. It's great. It increases that instructor to student presence. But it might be a wise idea to ask if you could share it with the class, because that could increase the social presence between the students to students, so that they feel more engaged with one another. So that's something to keep in mind. The analytical side looks at offering productive criticism for them and offering specific feedback, offering timely feedback can be really helpful. Creating quizzes that can really demonstrate their comprehension of materials is going to be very valuable. While you may allow open notes for quizzes or for tests, it's important that you look at the way you're formatting your ideas and how you're assessing them, so that you're getting the most out of them and making sure that they're comprehending the material accurately. And also, students respond to particulars, so be really specific as far as what the guidelines are, but also what you're expecting. If you want a 12-point font and double spacing, state that clearly so that students know. And then finally, lead by example. Introduce yourself, share your anecdotes, share your education. This will increase the engagement of students and their ability to want to share if you're open and whatnot. So this is something to keep in mind. You set the tone for the course, and if you want students to really participate with one another with you'll need to set that tone for them. In an article by Tremblay, he offers different pedagogical principles for small group work, and small group work has been really wonderful as far as using it for online courses. He notes that these pedagogical principles can be applied to breakout rooms, to videos, to text, to chat, to lots of different ways that small groups can work together. So you want to make sure that you focus on the interactivity of the groups, as I've mentioned before, making sure that they're working hard, working together, that there's open communication. You want to be the advocate for that communication. And you want students to share and provide feedback with one another. This will increase that student social presence that really can help them engage with the material. Prepare the students, let them know, as I've said, what to expect, and on both the technical and the interpersonal side, knowing, what to expect for the technical requirements of the course, but also for the personal side, how they're going to need to mandate their time. You can also, continually strive to improve and change the course. While it's important to list a specific set of instructions on the syllabi and different assignments, be open to new alternatives and keep the class fresh and new each semester, adding new ideas and tools and features each semester to keep it moving. And then use all the technology skillfully. Sometimes we use technology for the sake of technology, but we need to keep in mind that there are pedagogical uses behind all of the tools that are available. So if you're just using it for the sake of using it, it's not going to have a purpose. So make sure that you really are picking technology for the activities that you're doing that's really going to help apply the concepts. Make sure that your technology is up to date. Students are expecting the most up to date in technology and software. They're using their technology on a daily basis. They have the most recent in cell phones and PDAs and all different types of devices, so they're going to be expecting that from you. Doesn't mean you have to know it in entirety, but just be open to using it and know that they're going to be expecting it. It's also important to be aware of students' learning styles within the online classroom. When we're in person in the face-to-face classroom, students can ask questions, could have you repeat something. But in the online classroom, students might be a little more shy. You never know. Some of them might be a little more interactive. Some might not be. So when you're thinking of that, offer different activities in different formats. With open chats, with the synchronous activities, students can, interact one-on-one and with their peers verbally, with the video, so that they can understand all of what you're trying to say in many different ways. Using videos could be great for some students, but text might be better. So discussion board could be good for some students versus a voice board. So just keeping everything open and using different tools so that students with different learning styles can be helped and really can be engaged with the material. You also want to encourage active collaboration. As I've mentioned before, this is really going to help students that have different learning styles interact with one another and increase their engagement and understanding. And students can often think in chronological terms. Sometimes they like to know things, how they're laid out, but there are also students that think in a global pattern, not necessarily sequentially, and like to see the big picture. So oftentimes you can create projects where smaller things lead into something bigger so that students can see the overall goal depending upon how they think about projects and assignments and whatnot. And that can be a really great tool for some students that think on a more global scale rather than a smaller chronological scale. You could often do group work on many different levels, both synchronously and asynchronously. Think of, discussion boards that can be done with group work, but you can also have group work with the breakout rooms. So really try and use that as many ways as you can. The group work is going to be key. And finally, look into virtual field trips. This is a great idea and a great suggestion. A lot of websites have virtual tours that you can go on and can be a great way to apply concepts. There's museum tours that'll kind of guide you through different activities and can get students to apply concepts in different ways and think outside of the box. So this can be very beneficial. You're on the computer, so use those tools that are available and look for different websites that might be helpful with helping to integrate ideas in a different style. Feedback's also really, really important, and I've kind of skimmed along this topic, but what many of the studies, many students, and many faculty recommend is that timely responses are going to be key. You want to make sure that you explicitly state in your syllabus what your time frame is. So, for example, if you're going to be responding to emails, that students should expect to hear from you between 24 or 48 hours, depending on what you feel comfortable with. They're going to be looking for immediate feedback, so the faster you can respond to them, the better they'll feel. So keep that in mind. In addition, you want to make sure that when students are submitting questions that you're going to encourage those questions. Thank them for asking them and really confirm when you're responding to those questions, whether it's live face-to-face in a virtual meeting, whether it's through an email, that you're actually answering their question. So you can ask them, does this clarify for you? Does this help you? This way students don't feel like, oh, well, why am I going to email or set up another chat if they're not really answering my question fully? So really confirm that you're responding to what they need. You could also, when responding to emails, make sure that you thank them. This is going to be very important because students we want to encourage students to ask questions, to not just kind of do things nilly-willy on their own. We want them to be doing things correctly, and again, it also increases that instructor presence that they have. You could also send frequent reminders about different assignments. This is feedback to them because it's just another note on what to expect, what's coming up, so on and so forth. And you could also communicate through different platforms, whether it's an announcement, whether it's a voice announcement or a voice email. There's the voice board. So there's lots of different places that you could be offering this assistance so that students, when they're looking at the discussion board, they have the ability to see a comment you've posted. Or if they're looking on the announcements page of your Blackboard course, they can see those there as well. And a lot of times instructors have created a forum just for questions. So you could periodically go in there, see what questions students have, and really go into depth in answering them. And other students could respond as well. This could be done as a discussion board, a voice board, various different platforms that could be available to students that you could allow them to ask their questions and get out their ideas. And technology, that's another important aspect of online courses. And a lot of students and faculty might feel a bit of fear or anxiety with this technology. But what you need to do is be that change motivator and really excite the students, get them excited about using technology, and get them to realize that they're already using it in many different ways on a daily basis, whether that's through email, whether that's through simply being on the internet, checking Blackboard. Those are all things that they already do, and the online course activities are just an extension of everything that they're already doing. You can also create a technology checklist. Before a class even starts, contact your students and make sure that they have a camera set up. Make sure that they have proper Java installations or certain tools such as QuickTime installed or Flash on their computer. This way, if you're offering different types of multimedia or different types of features that they're going to need, that they have time to prepare for it, to get to know those materials. And then you're also going to want to provide the specific contact information for students. Not only your personal contact information where you can be reached if it's a cell phone number, a personal phone number, an email, an office location, but also the contact information of your support of your support team. Depending on if you're using Wimba, Blackboard, WebEx, Adobe, you want to make sure that you're providing the proper information as how students can call after hours to troubleshoot with any problems they might have with one of those tools. And that keeps them, open to understanding that things may happen, and we need to be aware that technology can not work sometimes. So if we have these backup contacts, whether it's just the instructor or someone else that we know, it can really help integrate a really cohesive course for them so they feel comfortable if any situation arises. And then just being aware of the computer services team that you have. This can all be very helpful in preventing any issues that might come up in the future with technology. It's a list of works cited here. I really think it would be valuable to go in and just peruse these articles, see what they have to say. And they're listed all under the readings or the suggested readings for this module. Hopefully you'll find them insightful. I certainly did. Thank you so much for your time. I hope this was helpful in getting you to understand some best practice tips from other instructors, from research, and hopefully you'll be able to implement some of these ideas into your upcoming online course.